Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of Cycling Insider. In this episode, I have a very interesting bike from Focus for you. So, let's talk about a 2022 Focus Izalco Max 9.7 road bike. As you probably know, Focus is a German bike brand, and they also have a very huge heritage in making road bikes and also mountain bikes. We can ask a question, so who is this bike for? So you see, Focus Izalco platform is all about a lightweight climbing machine. But now, as you can see, they have also incorporated a bit of, aerodynamically optimized the frame and the fork and some other components. So this is kind of almost all-rounder bike from Focus, but definitely the main kind of attraction of this bike was to be lightweight climbing stiff machines. So just keep that in mind if you are in the market for this type of the bike. Retail price of this bike, which is very interesting, is 5,500 British pounds, but if you are, for example, in Germany or some continental Europe, you can get this bike for about 5,100 euros. So it's definitely worth, if you have some of your friends in continental Europe, to check out this bike, because you can get it much cheaper than, for example, in UK. I personally don't know why this is the reason. Of course, UK went out of EU, but it shouldn't be such a big difference in price between this bike in UK and Europe. Speaking about the paint scheme on this bike, Focus only offers one paint scheme. It is a pretty beautiful metallic blue with a kind of hint of, light blue, dark blue combination. Very nice paint scheme, but again, I wish that Focus has offered at least another paint scheme considering the retail price of this bike. So now, let's dive into the specifications of this bike and let's really see what do you get for your hard-earned money. We can kick off with the frame and the fork on this bike. So the frame is a carbon fiber Max technology frame from Focus, which is a press-fit bottom bracket, BB86 standard, 12mm through axles both front and the back, and also internal cable routing and flat mount disc brakes. Similar story for the fork, so it is a carbon fiber Max technology fork from Focus. When I say Max technology, this is basically their top of the line, creme de la creme carbon fiber frames and forks that Focus can do. So you are also getting here a 6 years warranty on carbon fiber frames and forks, which is a decent warranty, but I wish that Focus has, will move to higher levels of warranty, like 10 years or even a lifetime warranty. And of course, when I speak about the fork, you will also have a flat mount disc brake and 12mm through axles front and the back. I would just mention here that Focus has this kind of patented solution, RAT, through axles, which basically is almost like a quick release axles. It's a very nice, neat solution, so you can easily and quickly replace your through axle on the wheel or just replace the wheel if you need it. So very nice, neat solution. Now let's talk about the Groupset on this bike. So shifter's front mech and the rear mech is going to be a SRAM Rival E-Tap Access. So this is a wireless Groupset from SRAM, 12-speed wireless Groupset. So all the components, shifter's front mech and the rear mech, are wirelessly communicating, and usually you have a battery somewhere in the seat tube, seat post, depending where they fit it. It's a superb wireless Groupset from SRAM. I absolutely have no complaints here. And if you look some of the smaller pieces of this Groupset, for example, cassette, it's a SRAM XG1250 cassette. So this is a 12-speed cassette. And I will just mention here that this cassette, absolutely, a beautiful piece of design and kind of quality piece of work. But just keep in mind that once when you need to replace it, this cassette has a retail price of 132 euros, US dollars or whatever currency you are using. So it's a very expensive piece of engineering. Chain, SRAM Rival chain, 12-speed chain, no cutting corners here, and also the crankset on the bike is the SRAM Rival crankset, and this crankset has 4835 chain rings, and the cassette is 1030 cassette. So as you see it here, it's definitely geared, towards a bit more like a climbing machine, 4835 chain rings with a 1030 cassette. Definitely, if you need more gearings, it's always easy to replace just a cassette and take a bigger cassette. I will mention here that the press fit bottom bracket is of course SRAM PF Dub 86 standard. Okay, some people have reported a bit more creaking noises than if using Shimano press fit bottom brackets, but you can't avoid it because of the whole SRAM group set and the SRAM crankset. Now let's talk about some of the smaller pieces on the bike, like the handlebar and the stem. So this is a very interesting combination. So handlebar and the stem are separate pieces, which is always great and superb because nothing is proprietary and everything is easy to replace or adjust the position. And this handlebar in the E is the Easton EC70 Aero handlebar. This is a carbon fiber handlebar, which is absolutely superb. You rarely see these combinations of carbon fiber handlebars. Aerodynamically optimized handlebar, and this is paired with the stem, which is from Focus own aluminum stem. It's a perfectly fine combination of aluminum stem and carbon fiber handlebar, and as I say, since they are separate pieces, no proprietary pieces, is just excellent. Saddle that you'll get on the bike is going to be Physique Antares Evo R5. Physique Antares, perfectly fine saddle. In the worst case scenario, if you don't like it, it's easy to replace. And the seat post, of course, is the Focus D-shaped carbon fiber seat post. Again, very good because it's going to soak up a lot of the smaller road bumps. Now let's talk about the braking system on the bike. So you're getting hydraulic disc brakes from SRAM. So this is SRAM Rival E-Tap hydraulic disc brakes with SRAM's own Paceline braking rotors. And it seems to me that Focus has opted for a combination of 160 millimeters at the front and 140 millimeters at the back. Maybe, to be honest, there's some kind of a bit let's say confusing information here, but just to double check, I'm expecting it to be honest, 160 millimeters front, 160 millimeters back, but just double check with the Focus, is that true for the braking discs, which are SRAM, Paceline braking discs. If not, my suggestion, always when you destroy this 140 millimeter disc, always replace it with the 160 millimeter braking disc, just because of better heat dissipation and better braking performance. Now let's talk about the wheel set on this bike, because this is also definitely one of the highlights of the bike. The first highlight would be this wireless SRAM Rival E-Tap group set, and then definitely the wheel set. Wheel set is a DT Swiss Arc 1600. Carbon fiber wheel set from DT Swiss, absolutely superb piece of engineering, 12mm true axles front and the back, and 48mm height. If you look currently on the DT Swiss website, you cannot buy this Arc 1600 wheel set. This model is kind of discontinued, or maybe they will bring it back in a newer version, but the closest thing you can buy is the Arc 1400 D-Cut. So if you would go on the open market and buy this wheel set, it would be approximately $2,655. And some of the highlights of the wheel set definitely include carbon fiber wheel set, as I said, total weight approximately 1,600 grams, very, very impressive. This is a classical hooked carbon fiber rim. In the case of the Focus bike, 48mm deep with the internal width of 20mm, and I will just mention here that this wheel set should come with the DT Swiss 240 hubs, absolutely superb hubs with 12mm true axles, and of course DT Swiss Aero spokes and DT Swiss nipples. Also here, just to make you aware that this wheel set is tubeless ready, but I believe you will need to get your own tubeless tape and the tubeless valve. I don't think the Focus has prepared it out of the box, so just keep that in mind. Also, this wheel set is wrapped in Vittoria Corsa tires, so these are 28mm tires, which is absolutely stunning. I'm so glad that they are using 28mm tires on this bike because of more air volume and just a much smoother ride. And also it's very nice that Focus is claiming the total bike weight is 8.1 kilograms, and this is for the size medium, so this should be a size 56 in my opinion. So if that's true, if it is 8.1 kilograms for size 56, absolutely superb kind of bike weight from Focus. And Focus usually is famous for very light carbon fiber frames and the forks. So in a summary, what is my advice to you if you are in the market for this Focus Izalco Max 9.7? Well, considering the retail price of 5,500 British pounds or 5,100 euros, it's a very, eye-watering, spicy price. So I would just recommend you to really consider this bike, because it's a very good offering from Focus, but it is very expensive, and definitely two highlights of the bike are DT Swiss Arc 1600 carbon fiber wheel set and also SRAM wireless Groupset 12-speed Groupset. So I think this is going to be it for today. I hope you like what I'm doing, and if you do, keep on watching, keep on liking, and as always, I will see you soon in the next episode. Cheers!